Ready? Today is Thursday. Had a great service last night. Amazing. Johnny preached. Kev got snowed in. Johnny preached. Good word, son. Good word. You gonna read through it? Is that pre-stress you feeling?
People don't know.
How movies have like.
Oh God.
At least with Tony's that had like.
I need to remember to wear a different outfit.
Why?
People ain't thinking that part.
No.
Or did they even think about it?
Johnny wore the same thing.
I feel like they've come up with them.
Get that guy some clothes.
Johnny is in a mood today. What's up, everybody? It is book club time, and we get picked on a little bit for doing book club. Some of Christy's friends and Joseph's friends pick on us for doing book club, but I think it's amazing because readers are leaders, and so we want to lead inside of our ministries, our movement, the church world. We got to read, so readers are leaders. That's what we do. They'll never watch this because they're too busy doing other things, so it's all right. No need to feel shame right here, Joseph. Don't ever watch this. I'm glad we don't have a camera from this way to see your face.
Oh, wow.
Johnny's in a mood, so it should be fun hearing what he has to say today. We did have in here medulla oblongata, so that is awesome. Right, water boy, good job. And so, again, same concept as previous days. Try not to talk over each other and tell us what page you're on, where you're at in the book, so that we can follow along with you. Okay? We'll start. This is chapter 8, Dreamers by Day. Samantha, you want to start?
I just want to give a shout out to Thomas Jefferson.
Yeah.
Authoring the first recipe for vanilla ice cream. Thank you. That's all I want to say.
Ordained by God.
I also didn't know that vanilla was an orchid.
Yeah,
I did
me
not know
neither.
that at all.
That was so
That
cool.
Wait a minute, because I'm fat? I actually have something in this section.
Okay, let's hear it.
Okay. At the bottom of page 116, every dream has a genealogy. It's true in ice dream, and it's true of ice dream, and it's true of your dream. All of our dreams were set up by those who came before, and we follow suit by setting up dreams for those who come after. So our dreams are really a dream within a dream. We're downlines in dreams that trace all the way back to let there be light. And then above it, it was talking about how who would have thought a boy on an island would have been able to pollinate a single vanilla. And I was just thinking about, like, in our case, what we're doing when you were starting out, like in the trailer. Who would have thought that you starting in a double-wide trailer with 8 people would have led to what we're doing now, and who knows what will be in 10 years, and who knows what I'm doing now. It may seem like why in the world would I rub 2 flowers together trying to pollinate? Like, it doesn't make sense, but who knows in 10 years what that'll do. So,
And even the dream inside of dreams that go even further back than that. Chris Whitman, who had a dream that he wanted to preach revivals and change the world, change my life forever. A pastor at Brownsville who is walking around praying and has a dream that God would send revival to his church, and he has no clue that dream actually would affect my dream. And so all of these dreams are dreams inside of dreams that just continue down the line, and you have no clue how your dream will affect somebody else's dream.
Yeah, I was going to say that in relation to what he was talking about on page 120. I'll jump there. Sorry for not saying in order. But like middle of the page, it says the dreams God gives us are for us, but they're never for just us. They're for everyone who will be affected, inspired by them. And then it goes into the YWAM story, but all of those people and countless thousands of staff and people who have come to faith in Christ, but it's because of the dream that the one guy had about what was to come. So they're all affected by that one dream.
And getting back to the vanilla thing, that had a really cool biblical parallel to it, where they sent all these orchids over there, but then it got down to just one orchid left, and then from that's when the boy pollinated them, and then they got 2 beans out of it. You know, I was kind of thinking that's kind of like Abraham and Sarah. You know, it's just the 2 of them, and then from that grew. What was it? Within a few years, it was a 200. They were exporting 200 tons of vanilla. You know, it's just pretty fascinating how God does that with dreams, where he'll take everything away to the bare essential, and then just let it explode.
And again, let me encourage you, that one vanilla orchid, the only one of them that survived, this is 116, second full paragraph, only one of them survived, and nearly 2 decades later, it still hadn't fruited.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes we're in seasons where we're like, God, why are we not producing fruit? God, why is this not happening for me? And vanilla beans have changed the world as we know it, and 2 decades in, it still hadn't fruited.
It's still kind of on that vein of just dreams from times past. You have no clue how they even affect tomorrow and going forward. At the bottom of page 121, Pastor Batterson was talking about his dream for campuses. He said at this time when the book was written that they were a single church with 8 expressions, so 8 campuses. And he talked about, he never even thought about having 8 campuses. He was just lucky to have one. He had a failed church fan on his resume. But then in the bottom paragraph, it said, when I first had the vision of meeting in multiple locations, multi-site wasn't even a word. Now we're shooting at 20 expressions by the year 2020. And those expressions include church campuses, church plants, coffee houses, and dream centers. And I think back to when I was pastoring Society Hill, it's literally a community that has 482 people at the last census or whatever it was. That was always the driving point of vision. It was, we're a hub location, and we're going to reach out here and here and here, Judea, Samaria, uttermost parts of the earth. And that seemed unrealistic for there, because who's going to drive to Society Hill? There's not even a restaurant. There's not even a store hardly outside of the Dollar General. And but that was in me, and that was just something we kept pushing forward. And now being in campus ministry, realizing we're getting to see that same dream, that same template be applied in another way. I had no clue that's what God was cultivating in that season.
Amen. I love 123, bottom of 123, where Emmanuel was able to speak his wife's language. No typo, on par with what happened on the day of Pentecost. I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah, that was super cool. There's a lot of good stories in this one.
I think 118, midway through, where it talks about God sanctifying our sense of humor, that part. It says at the end of that paragraph, after all, the size of our dreams really reveals the size of our God. I wrote on there, wow, kind of a gut check. Like, sometimes I personally think, man, I don't know if I dream, and how big are my dreams? Or I keep them small so they seem realistic, but yet to me that could be big. But to think that it's okay to dream big, and because it just shows that it's all about how big God is.
Yeah, and again, I think sometimes we talk about big dreams and we think that means, dream centers and giant mega, all of this sort of stuff. As a mother, the dream of raising incredible godly kids is a giant dream. In a culture that is crazy and fighting for our kids' attention on every turn, for a dream to be, I want to be an amazing role model for my children, or I want to protect the sanctity of my home, or whatever it may be. Like, those are giant dreams in our cultures today. And to think, I want my children to be pure until they're married, to think that is something that's to the world, that's a crazy, giant dream, to assume that's even a possibility. But to a mama, that is, her God-sized dream, that she trusts in this giant God that's able to, do what her heart desires. So, again, as you talk about dreams, those of you watching this, as you talk about dreams, don't feel that means you have to move to Africa and, start YWAM. Like the dream God has placed inside of you may seem insignificant when reading stories like this because of these dreams being so big, but it's almost, in a book like this, you almost have to put the shock factor in, right? Johnny's dream of being a doctor is a giant dream. Like, I love Johnny. Johnny is a genius, but Johnny's not smart enough to be a doctor. Like, Dr. Johnny, come on, right? But that dream is inside of him, and so he keeps kicking down walls and keeps pressing forward to achieve this dream that realistically is only by the grace and mercy of God that he's able to achieve that, right? And so for us, what then God does with that dream, who knows? But the dream is there. Continue walking after the dream, and don't allow your dreams to be minimized because they are seemingly small because they don't line up with the ones in the book. Because your dream is huge depending on who you are, right? I couldn't be satisfied with, my dream is, I want to be the greatest Madden player ever. I couldn't be satisfied with that, right? It's not a dream of mine. I would go crazy sitting around the house trying to play Madden all day. So God has put something inside of me that is a little different, that says that's what I dream for, right? So it's okay if your dream is this here is my dream. But by the grace of God, you're able to achieve that, I mean, Maddie came from, we talk about her background a lot. It's but by the grace of God that she is where she is right now, knowing the generational stuff that she's walked through. And so now she's here in a place where her dreams, if you heard them or if she spoke them out loud, may not be, I want to change the world. But her dream is to keep me protected and keep me safe. And her dreams actually protect my dreams because God's partnered us together that way. Where she says, hey, I don't think that's a good idea. Or, hey, be careful here. Or, hey, I don't. And all of a sudden, the dream that she has to be, a force inside of our family to protect and care and guide and keep us heading in the right direction now actually protects my dreams and protects Caleb's dreams and protects our girls' dreams for the future. So don't feel like because your dreams aren't to move to Africa that they aren't God-sized dreams, because they actually are.
On page 121, right off of what you're saying, it says that's the beautiful thing about dreams. You never know when or where or who or how your dream will inspire someone else to pursue their dream. Only the dream giver knows that. But we'll have a lot of people to thank someday for directly and indirectly inspiring our dreams. Right. If we're not dreaming big and dreaming authentically, we're not inspiring other people, we're conforming. Mm-hmm. So I love that you want to be a doctor. From my perspective, knowing that it's okay to knock down those walls with God's direction, that if you dream big, that means I can dream big. Mm-hmm. And I just think that that's a great part.
Yeah, right above that, one of my core convictions is that the church ought to be the most creative place on the planet. Yeah. I believe there are ways of doing church that no one has thought of yet. And that reminded me of when we lived in Nashville. We attended a very large church. It had, I don't know the number of people, but I know it had 1,000 families that went there. One of the things that I always was hoping that they would do, because there were so many creative. It's Nashville, it's an art center of the world. One of the things that I was always hoping that they would do would be to open up almost like a college in the church, where you could take a course on photography or take a course on music or whatever, and have leaders in the church teaching people how to do these things in a Christ-centered way, but just to expand people's knowledge, things like that. It doesn't have to always be biblically based, but it should be biblically centered.
Savannah, what you got? I see a bunch of highlights over here.
Got the blood of Jesus.
Hey, come on.
So who else? Who's next?
Oh, you.
Me. Okay. Page 125. At the beginning, this spoke to me because I don't know. I feel like sometimes I just because of insecurities, I don't want to do something out of my comfort zone, and so the part that says sometimes God has to force us outside the comfort zones. We want Him to do something new while we keep doing the same old thing, but it doesn't work that way. And I'm not saying that like me personally. I'm not saying like in my life I'm like, oh, just doing whack things. Like even some things that you're doing, you're following God's will, but it's just some things that, like you even said, you mentioned, it doesn't have to be like grand, but just little things like, okay, are you going to do youth ministry in a way where you guys have more times to actually have those uncomfortable conversations with those teenagers, so that rather than just like, okay, we're just going to do things in a way where everyone is listening and then everybody goes back home, and so like God's just been like kind of put it in my heart that, okay, it's okay to get out of your comfort zone. It's okay to switch things up a little bit, as long as you're still like, glorifying God and still everything is still Christ-centered. And so that's just something that stood out to me.
Love it. Agree completely. Anybody else?
This whole just chapter challenged me because I'm not like a dreamer. Never been like a dreamer. I'm more of a realist. I don't even remember any dreams that I have at night. It's just one of those things. So it kind of, the whole chapter challenged me. But whenever you had said, the enemy likes to use like, oh, if you don't have these big dreams, like you said, like going to Africa or whatever, like you don't, like that. He tries to just put that condemnation on you, which we know is not of God. If it's condemning, like, oh, well, you suck because you don't have a dream like this, or you don't want a dream like that. But like you said, like my dream is just to have good, godly kids and raise a good family and keep you safe and live a long, prosperous life. And that's perfectly fine with God. Like, He doesn't care how big our dreams are. To Him, that's a big dream.
Yeah, and that dream is so inspiring
Yeah.
to so many women out there that are looking at their family falling apart and saying, I am inspired to be what she is. I'm inspired to have what she has. I'm inspired to, lead like she leads. Like, that's the thing about dreams is like whether you are, starting an art studio in Nashville and, putting a Christ-centered spin on art, or you are leading your family well, those dreams that God has placed inside of you are inspiring to people. I think of a friend of ours, Ed Brewer. Ed Brewer has pastored a smaller community church forever. And he's had opportunities. He's so smart. He is the smartest man I know. He's had opportunities to go and pastor bigger churches. He's had opportunities to do a lot of things, and he wants to stay there because he dreams of being that figure in that small community that everybody can reach out to when somebody dies and when somebody's in the hospital. And he has become that. So now there's these pastors at smaller churches going, that man inspires me. I want to be like him. And so that dream inside of you is God-given, And it is inspiring if you will just allow it to be, and instead of saying, I don't have dreams because I'm not, wanting to, move my family across the world. Is Africa a big mission field? Why does everybody say move their family to Africa? I know it's huge Muslim influence there, right?
Yeah, that, and I think a lot of it, and it's not just in the Christian world, but even like people that do humanitarian work, the mindset is the number of third world countries there, so it's like anybody here going there is going to be able to bring some kind of input that will make a difference there, so I think that's why everyone just immediately thinks like Africa,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think,
be encouraged by your dreams.
Kind of along the same lines, a part of the language in here that kind of challenges me, that I think kind of goes along with what Maddie was saying and kind of what you were saying, is to me there can't be a difference or a differentiation between a God-given and a God-sized dream. We say big dreams and we think of things that we are incapable of and that we have to expand our mind and reach for, and then we say things like we want to buy the mall and turn that into a church one day, or things that are unattainable, and a lot of the times it's financially, or I want to go on tour and do all this stuff, or all these things are unattainable by ourselves. But in truth, Maddie maintaining a nucleus of a family and it being a godly family and protecting you, that is something that she can't do by herself.
Right. It's unattainable.
And that's a God-sized dream, a God-given dream. And to me, I think we take God and we put him in this box of big dreams that are unattainable financially, unattainable, with our own thought process. But in truth, all these things are unattainable without him. And I think sometimes we almost put God in this big box we shove him over here and say, we can't do this without you, but we can do this without you. And to me, that's where, like, the language of this book is, it's like we've got to get in this thought process of this is a God-given dream. Even though it might not look here and be financially unattainable or all these other things, like, this is still a God-given, God-inspired dream that I can only accomplish with his help. And to me, that's what is beautiful about a dream like that, and it doesn't change the narrative at all. It's still God-given. It's still God-sized. It just has nothing to do with finances, And that's what I think we miss it a little bit when we talk about that. That's what the part that spoke to me the most was the end. I found pretty much every one of these chapters, the end has challenged me the most. I love a summarized version of a chapter, and this kind of just talks about it all. But he said the goal of going after a God-given dream isn't just accomplishing it. In fact, accomplishing the dream is of a secondary importance. The primary goal is who you become in the process. And I love that. That was my rant.
Yeah.
But
Agree completely. Listen, most people will hear Johnny wants to become, he has a dream of becoming a doctor, and they go, well, yeah, a lot of people can do that.
yeah.
No, you don't understand. You don't understand where that dream is taking him to.
Yeah.
You don't understand what that dream is unlocking for other people. You don't understand what Rachel's, dream of, whatever it may be, what this dream is unlocking for her children, what it's unlocking for her husband, what it's you don't understand what Maddie's dream is unlocking for me being able to dream of a future at the mall is because Maddie dreams to protect this nucleus.
Yeah.
And so don't underscore your dream, whatever it is. Who else? Everybody went? Did you go, Doc?
Yeah, I went first.
Listen, I said this.
After you call me fat.
I did not. I said this, so now you can't give up on your dream.
I was just thinking I was going to take a huge break. I almost quit. So here we go.
That's why I did it.
Appreciate that.
You're welcome.
I love that though. Like, I think that's important. I think sometimes we're afraid to share our dreams because they seem small or because they seem like people brush things off. So I think it's important to have those people in your circle that can go, wow, that's amazing. Keep doing that. Keep pushing after that. Keep chasing that. And won't let you quit. Like, won't let you give up on that dream. Won't let you take a huge break and fall off, you know. Won't let you forget that that's a big deal to your life. I think that's huge.
I have a dream of writing a book one day. And CJ asked me once a month, hey, how's the book coming? I'm like, not working on it. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not even working on it, CJ. But I'm thankful that God has placed her in our life to be able to fulfill a dream that I've had for years and years and years.
Yeah.
And so I think holding people accountable for dreams is so incredibly important. I'm good at that.
She's ready to lead you down that path.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. No, I almost put it on my, this year I'm going to finish my book, and now it's like, erase. I'm not ready to make that commitment yet.
How about this year I'm going to start?
Sorry. So, all right, good chapter. Keep dreaming. Anything else? You got anything you want to say?
I'm good.
Any words from service last night that you want to leave us with?
Thus saith the Lord.
Amen. So, all right, love you guys. Thank you for your time. God bless. Anything you need?
I mean, I was just wondering why nobody has kept me accountable about singing. You know, because I told you I have this dream about singing.
Savannah, I got you.
Like, what's going on with
True.
It's because we had a choir and you never showed up to choir practice.
that? I wasn't around. I
Oh.
was in Africa.
The next choir. We'll get you up there next
Yep.
choir.
Bad.
Easter.
Don't
Bad.
forget that.
Yes,
That'll be
Palm
lit.
Sunday.
Easter's so soon.
No, it's
I have to
not.
do the.
You said that last
voice-
year
the
Easter,
voice-
and you said I'll do Christmas choir. So now I'm just
Wait,
giving you
God,
grace.
The voice got raspy, kind of like me. I'm gonna say it next time.
Perfect.
Marriage life will do that to you. No?
No. My voice got raspy, but it got deeper. You know?
All right, thanks for spending some time with us today.
We're still rolling.
We love you guys. God bless. So we'll take the weekend off. Take Friday and Saturday and Sunday off. We will see you on Monday morning back here with Chapter 9, Hidden Figures, the fifth language of people. Interesting. So love you guys. God bless. Peace out. Let's go. Well, now you can come.